In Hollywood, everything is famous. The sign, the homes in the hills, the streets lined with palm trees. Even the sidewalks here are stars. And in the middle of all this sits Hollywood's Rochester connection, Eastman Kodak. Without Kodak, Hollywood probably wouldn't be so famous.
Why don't we shoot this?
Hey, Mark. Background. Team. Action!
Kodak makes the vast majority of the motion picture film that's used here. Most of the movies you see, and this television show, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, are shot on Kodak film.
So whatever I do, creative, that comes out of me, is registered on that film. And that's the most important thing to me that there is in the business. And it started before the wind got it.
Ozzie Smith won an Emmy for his work as director of photography on Dr. Quinn. While Jane Seymour and Richard Mall are the stars of this show, Ozzie says Kodak film, made in Rochester, deserves top billing too.
As far as I'm concerned, with the people in Rochester that work there, if I had a hat on, I would take my hat off, because I got to tell you, nobody does it better.
While Kodak faces serious challenges in many of its markets, the motion picture business is one of the company's great and ongoing success stories. Kodak people are regulars on this set and others, because doing business in Hollywood is all about relationships. The people who sell Kodak's motion picture film have some long-standing ties to the studios and the television networks.
I saw it from one point of view in Rochester, seeing the business. Now I'm here in Hollywood, seeing it from a different perspective. You realize more completely the importance of the relationship and the partnerships that exist.
Hollywood is a long way from Kodak Park, but the products made back home play a starring role here.
But we won't see all the people on the porch.
That's great. That's what's good about
Okay, good. All right, this is it.
And the Oscar goes to Pat Young.
Oh, heavens, I want to thank my family for all of their support.
You will not see Pat Young on the Oscar telecast Monday night. You won't see any of these folks, but they are Oscar winners just the same.
Wait till you get a load of how heavy this thing is.
People throughout Kodak Park's motion picture and television imaging unit are sharing in this award for the company's latest contribution to the film industry.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Motion picture film should not be like a box of chocolates. You should know exactly what you're going to get. And with Kodak's newest film, the people who made Forrest Gump knew they would get an accurate image. Accurate enough to win Kodak its 8th Oscar.
It's very unusual to be able to bring an award like this and pass it around in the manufacturing environment.
That's nice.
You could see the pride in the faces as the people on the line got to hold Oscar. The film they helped make here was used in all 5 of the movies nominated for Best Picture.
Where are you boys from in the world? Alabama, sir. You twins?
No, we are not relations, sir.
Pat Young coordinated the development and manufacture of the film, Eastman Color Intermediate 5244.
Oh, it feels super. An awful lot of people have worked very, very hard on this product, both when we developed the film and in order to manufacture it. And it's great to see that their success has been rewarded.
When you're out to dinner now and you're meeting people for the first time, will you say, "I'm Bill Watt, Oscar winner"?
No. Won't carry it quite that far.
The Oscars are a big deal. I mean, it's, you know...
Have you won one before?
No, I can't say I have, no.
Your first one?
Yeah.
So on Oscar night, when the stars thank all the people who worked so hard, remember the Oscar winners at Kodak Park. Don, the people who make movies here at Paramount and other studios are essentially in the business of fooling all of us. Magic is part of the movie business, always has been. And now, with some new digital technology from Kodak and other companies, movie makers have all kinds of new tricks up their sleeves. Now you see the bungee cord attached to the stuntman. Now you don't. Look again. Before and after. A lot of Hollywood's magic these days is the result of digital technology. Scenes are shot on film, electronically altered with computers, then returned to film for the final print.
We're creating illusions. We're doing a lot of things in terms of visual effects to put people in scenes that they weren't in before, creating magic.
Magic that's performed by these machines, which are made by Kodak in Rochester. With its Cinesite division, Kodak has gone into the special effects business. The technology at Kodak's Cinesite and other places is actually changing the business of making movies. Things that used to be impossible or very expensive to get on film are now possible because of this digital technology.
Today, with digital technology where we can draw within a computer, where we can marry those images with other backgrounds, we can now make those kinds of movies.
When the makers of Richie Rich wanted characters to fly through the air, they came to Cinesite. Again, bungee cords were digitally erased from the scenes. Now the makers of Kevin Costner's Waterworld are working on some secret magic that we'll have to wait to see. For Kodak, this place is the best of both worlds, a combination of its film and digital technologies. One of the hot issues here in Hollywood is the preservation of films, and Kodak is playing a role in that, too. We'll tell you how coming up tonight at 11 o'clock. In Hollywood, Doug Emblidge, News Source 13. This is the signature scene from a Hollywood classic. It seems timeless. But it's not. The film used to make movies is a perishable commodity. But Singing in the Rain is in good hands. It's on the shelves in a vault at Protec, a new Kodak division that's in the business of caring for Hollywood's heritage. Part of Kodak's future in Hollywood will be an important role in preserving its past. Some of the technology being used here in these vaults at Protec will be used to keep some classic films around for generations to come.
It's not only an asset preservation for the studios, independents, collectors, archivists, but it's also a preservation of our cultural heritage.
Among the thousands of films and television shows in Protec's vaults are Amadeus and Philadelphia, Andy Hardy and Scooby-Doo. The vaults are climate controlled to slow the film's deterioration, and in years to come they can be restored or, with new technologies, watched in a new way. Protec also inspects film. This man is looking at the recent movie Guarding Tess. He's going through it frame by frame. A computer record of any defects or deterioration will be kept, so the studio that owns the film will know what condition it's in.
When you think about the fact that, we have the original 65 negative in there on Ben-Hur, we store the 35 original negative on Dr. Zhivago. It's really kind of a neat feeling to know that we're storing this in an environment that my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren are going to be able to enjoy these same titles.
Most of the films in Protec's vaults were shot on Kodak film. It seems appropriate Kodak is now in the business of preserving them.
No, we got it. That's it.
Things are almost set for the 67th Oscars. The red carpet leading into the Shrine Auditorium is down, and the bleachers that will be filled with stargazers are in place. By Tuesday, they'll be tearing down this elaborate setup, but the people who win Oscars will leave the Shrine Auditorium with two mementos of their big night: the Oscar itself and a Kodak moment. During an Oscars rehearsal, Kodak was rehearsing too. In the balcony of the auditorium, the company has one of its digital or electronic cameras pointed at the stage. On Oscars night, a photographer will shoot the winners And since there's no film to process, the photo is only minutes away.
It's a whole new technology. It really is advancing. Where used to you would get these prints to people 2 or 3 days later, it's now happening in 5 or 6 minutes.
Elizabeth Taylor received this souvenir minutes after winning an Oscar. While it can't match film for quality, the immediacy is the plus of digital photography.
What's been the reaction of the famous people who get their picture?
They're absolutely amazed because when they walk back to their seats, they have an Oscar in one hand, their print in the other, and we've actually seen them on our video feed showing everybody at the governor's ball.
At the Oscars, the camera in the balcony is linked by cable to a computer backstage. The image can be touched up, then printed within minutes. Getting involved with the rich and famous on Oscars night is one way Kodak is trying to market its digital technology. The company hopes its digital products will someday be as famous as its film. This is Doug Emblidge reporting.
This is the first year, Laura. There was nobody there.
By Saturday morning, Babe and Sandy and Ruby were camped outside the Shrine Auditorium. For 26 years, they've been showing up early to get a good spot in the outdoor bleachers for Oscar night.
Oh, you get to see the stars in all their glory.
And we get to behave really ridiculous and get away with it. And you can't scream and yell and carry on and stomp your feet and clap and scream in your home. People would think, they would call the loony bins in and take you away. But here you can do this.
Before that can happen, the bleachers must be built and the red carpet rolled out. Some of the stars should give so much thought to dressing for the Academy Awards. Frank Lieberman is one of the people who's in charge behind the scenes.
From what everybody says, foreign journalists and United States journalists, it's the #1 watched scheduled yearly event in the world with about 1 billion, with a B, viewers.
For the telecast, the production numbers are well rehearsed. And producer Gil Cates works for months to plan the 3-hour show.
But mostly what puts it all together is that it's live, and live television is dangerous. And every now and then it's good to have some of the danger exposed. And when that happens, you realize that, oh my gosh, these things can happen. They're not edited out later. There is no bloopers reel.
Cates has been producing the Oscars for 6 years now. But that's nothing. This trio's been part of the show for 26 years. And their prediction for Best Picture is?
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
It's unanimous.
You bet. Yes, indeed.
How are you? The walk down the red carpet can take almost as long as this award show itself. Stars work their way through the crowd of reporters, photographers, and fans. But no one seems to hurry. Even for stars, this attention seems a genuine pleasure.
There you are receiving the award.
Wow. Behind the scenes tonight, Kodak was handing out souvenirs. The winners received a photo of their big moment taken just moments before with a digital camera.
It's a unique presentation because it's something they don't expect to get. And that on top of the Oscar, it's just kind of the frosting on the cake. And they really love it.